Hi guys, welcome back to the Chat Club podcast.
What's
Faith,
up, y'all?
how are you today?
It was a really rough morning, but then we eased into a pretty decent day. But I was quite emotional.
It was a rough morning for Miss Faith Jerome. Some very unfortunate news that we won't quite get into yet because it's one of our stories for this week.
Yeah.
We'll dive
into it
very,
later.
very, very sad news of Toby Keith passing. But we won't get into too much detail.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that your morning was rough.
I know. It was just hard because right when I woke up, I just opened up Facebook, and that was the very first thing. Toby Keith dead at 62, and I'm like, no. That's
crazy. I know, it's crazy.
But then I'm like, I can't not believe it because I already knew about his whole battle with cancer and stuff like that. And then I went to his actual Facebook page, and that's where their full post of confirming it. I was okay. I was a little shocked, and then I started playing Toby Keith music while I was getting ready this morning.
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because I was like, I gotta reminisce. And I don't know if you know this song. It's a very popular one. He did it with Willie Nelson, and it's called Beer for My Horses.
Yeah.
And it was like, when the smoke settles, we'll sing a victory tune. And I was like, oh, God, I was sobbing. I was ugly crying. When you cry and your chest is moving really, really hard, but nothing's coming out.
Yeah, you're hyperventilating, basically.
Yeah, that was me. Everything was just running out of me because I was.
Oh my God.
I was devastated. I grew up listening to him all the time.
I know, same.
When I was a kid. Also, he just always reminded me of my dad because he looked just like my dad from the 90s.
Yeah, they do look a lot alike.
Yeah. But no, I've always been a really big fan of Toby Keith since I was a kid.
Same. My mom used to have a stuffed animal.
Brandon, I texted your mom this morning. I texted her. I texted your mother. I texted my Aunt Kate, and I texted my dad. And I'm like, Toby Keith is dead. And I'm incredibly devastated.
You're like,
and Jolene's like, oh, this is such terrible news. At least he's out of pain. But I'm so sorry you're mourning or something like that. And I'm like, thank you, Jolene.
Jolene gets it.
I know. I was like, I know your love for him was real too. So I figured I'd let you know.
She was in love with Toby Keith. She had a stuffed animal that was a moose that was named Toby after Toby Keith. And we would sit
incredible.
And watch the CMT Awards when he would perform and stuff. And she would she's
yeah.
like, that's the man I would leave your dad for. Just
you remember the TikTok saying so and so is dead. He's supposed to be your daddy. That was Jolene.
Jolene. Yeah, that's literally my mom. That's so funny.
My God.
We really should have my mom here on the podcast sometime so everybody gets to know her. She is.
She's iconic.
She's such a queen.
Oh my God.
I love
her so much. Anyway, but how was your day, Brandon?
So my day was quite uneventful. So Blaine and I are kind of in this purge era where we're just donating.
Oh, love that.
Yeah, we just have I just have so much stuff that I have accumulated over the years that I don't necessarily use or need anymore. So we just been donating a ton. I'm selling a lot of things on Depop and eBay right now. Just
eBay's
because
still a thing. That's incredible.
Yeah. Because I just don't need this all this stuff anymore. And so we're just trying to live a minimalist life. I started going through my things. So when I first moved in here 6 years ago, I had boxes of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. And I saw Blaine's Instagram post.
I just decided to go through the things today. So
I saw your Twilight books.
Yeah, I had a photo of you and I in Chicago. Really? Yes. And a photo of Jamie and I. And just fun little memories that I had to walk down. I had this random ass keychain of Marissa back in 2008. Okay. Random.
Did you take a picture of that and send it to her?
I said yes. And she goes, why do you have that? Why do you have that?
That is
like,
such a Marissa thing, too. I think you gave it to
me. I know. I was like, you gave it to me as a gift, so I kept it all these years. So
I'm sentimental like that too.
Yeah, it's fun, but it's also like nice to like not have so much like shit
clutter. Yeah,
like just so nice. Like I'm gonna tackle like my studio because like everything that I've just been avoiding, I've just thrown in here.
Fair.
So we're gonna go through that next.
I want to do that with my closet too, because that'd be a wild ride. But
yeah, like I was
to get into like the mindset to do it.
Absolutely. I was like making TikToks and I saw like all my sweatshirts in the back and I was like, I need to get rid of all of those because like I have too much. I only wear like a handful of them because I have like my favorites, you know? So like,
what's the point of having all these?
What's the point of having all these when I don't wear them? And I have like a second closet that I need to go through. It's just crazy.
I feel that.
Yeah. So that's what has been going on. Some fun news. Oh yeah, next week. Okay, we probably will not have an episode next week unless Faith does a solo episode or we like pre-record it. Just because I'm gonna be on a cruise.
Oh, that's already? I thought this was like gonna be in like April when you were talking about it.
So we leave Monday.
Is that your Valentine's Day gift?
Okay, so well, here's one of our conversations. Okay. So Blaine came to me with this proposal of like, let's go on a cruise. And I was like, I don't really know if I want to be on like an enormous boat in the middle of the ocean. I just like, that's just not appealing to me. Also like I get seasick and I'm just like,
yeah, you do have an interesting tummy.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just don't know if that's like the vibe for me. And Blaine's like, well, I really, really want to do it. And I'm like, okay. And he goes, well, if I find one like for like a 3-day, would you do it? And I'm like, well, 3 days I can manage, right?
Yeah.
So he finds one, he buys it, he books the thing, and it's with Carnival Cruise, and we are going to the Bahamas. And they just issued like a level 2 travel advisory to the Bahamas where you just shouldn't go because the crime is so bad. So that's just fabulous. Yeah. So glamorous. So excited. Hopefully I don't die and this would be our last episode. So
rip.
You know, rip. Right.
Yeah.
If I die, just so you know. Yeah. Literally. Literally. If I die, this podcast is yours, all of it. I don't know
how to
money that we have.
I don't know how to upload it.
I know. You would have to like hire an editor.
I don't have the money for that.
Oh my god.
Oh,
and
god. This is just the last episode, people.
Right. This would just be
Let's make it closed. A good one.
Right, exactly. Go out in a bang. No, so we're going to this cruise and he like buys it, books it or whatever. And he goes, we were getting coffee yesterday morning. He goes, oh my God, wait, Valentine's Day is coming up. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, do you want anything? I'm like, you never get me anything for Valentine's Day. Like we just never do Valentine's Day things. Like we'll get each other a card maybe. And then that's about it. And he goes, well, I'm taking you on a cruise. And I'm like, I didn't want a cruise. And I'm like, so this is like your Valentine's Day gift to yourself.
Right.
And I'm just tagging along.
With the perk of you being there, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm always just like such a riot, you know? No, it's fun. I'm excited to like see the ocean and like the clear blue water that I know that Bahamas have. And
then maybe you'll be able to see.
Very cautious.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be able to like see Ema, Rickett, and Cleo.
Oh my God. Honestly, like if the pods are out, I'll be searching for them.
Oh my God. I hope you get to go to Mako Island.
That's in Australia.
That's still
going to the Bahamas.
It's not even a real place, Brandon. We were supposed to feed off of each other's imaginary vibes. Like
I understand.
You think you're gonna see Cleo, Ricky, and Emma? You were gonna go with that, but when Mako Island is brought up, fuck.
I would say my chances are higher than 0%.
Well, I would say that. Have you seen those TikToks about the deep blue sea or whatever?
Yes, stop like, the north. Yes. Yeah, the North Sea.
Have you seen like those? Because there was a guy that was literally on a fishing boat, or like, you know, those really giant ones.
Yeah.
And he literally was recording what sounded like sirens, like yelling out or singing to them. And at the very end, it literally sounded like they said, "Leap for me" or "Jump for me," like jump off the fucking boat so we can kill you.
Yeah, the North Sea, man.
Brandon, that's another thing you do not watch before you go to bed.
You think mermaids are out to get you?
I love mermaids 100%, and I would go and jump off that boat. That's
yeah,
what
I
I'm
would
saying.
expect them, honestly, if that was their wishes.
As long as I get to see you and meet you, and we can sing part of your world, I'm down. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
That's how I want to go out.
That's how I want to go out. That's so fair.
Yeah.
That's so fair.
God.
So if you guys didn't notice, if you guys are like visual watchers, listeners, Faith is wearing our sample. This is one of our first samples for our merch. This is not the final product. Not saying that this won't ever be released. But that is not going to be our first drop for our line. But we do have merch coming so soon. Samples, like our final samples, are literally going to be here the 9th. So,
wow.
Yeah, so we'll get those out.
3 days.
I know.
Today.
So
by Friday.
Yeah, our final samples will be out. And the episode will probably be live next episode, the website.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's super exciting. So anybody who wants our merch will be able to get it.
Are there some examples you can give them of what the merch would be?
So the merch is going to be a sweat set. So it's going to be a crew neck sweater, and it's going to be sweatpants. The colors available right now are like a heather gray, black, and a white. But the design that is on the sweatpants and sweatshirts, the sweatpants, it's our the Chat Club font logo embroidered. And then the sweater is the 2 mouths from our logo embroidered on. And then we're also coming out with a phone case. That is my personal favorite. But also another favorite of mine is the reusable cup that I use every day. I use it every day. That's my favorite thing ever. But those are the options.
Pretty good quality, yeah.
Yeah, they're great. And if you guys have just been excited to get some merch to rep for the Chat Club, here it is. You actually saw what it would kind of look like on Chan's episode.
Chan's video. Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys watch Chan's episode, you should already know what it kind of looks like, but yeah.
Yeah, when I saw them, they looked really cute and really soft.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Do you know she's worn them or tried them on it or anything? No?
Yeah, she sent me photos of her with
she did?
Yeah, the whole set on looks so cute on her. She's so precious. I love her.
Weren't you saying like you were thinking about making her like an eye patch or something like that?
Yeah, I was looking into it.
But you said like that like leather, like it has to be like
hot, like high quality. Like it's crazy. And her and I talked about it off camera too, because like I just like wish there was like an eye patch that you could just
right know?
Poof. But nope.
Oh man.
So we have some exciting stories for you guys. It's been a big week. We have Grammys that we will completely cover start to finish. Some wins, some losers, some
interesting surprises,
interesting speeches. So we will definitely get into Grammys and the whole thing. And then we have 2 more stories for you guys. But I do want to say something. Faith, did you see the thing about Drake?
No. What is it?
So we're gonna address the penis in the room. And
no. Is it another like Tyler Posey kind of a thing?
No, for sure.
Oh
no. For
my
sure.
God.
He put it on his Instagram story. It was there for like literally a minute. Yeah, and it's like him slapping the meat. And
it's
my
God.
Wild. I literally like opened the X app
story?
and it like was there, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And it was Drake's penis.
Every time.
I know,
Isn't
like,
exactly how it happened with Tyler Posey?
Literally, I opened up Tumblr and like there it is. I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, it was Tumblr. I thought it was Twitter.
Yeah. So basically, I'm just like, what is going on? So Twitter was going crazy. I will say that, like, you know, decent.
I was gonna ask. I mean, how was it? Thoughts?
It was good. I mean, thoughts.
Was he cut or not cut?
Oh, it was like blurry, so you can't really see, but you could like see like length.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've always wondered that about like which celebrities are. You know what I mean?
No, right. Who's packing and who's not? You know?
No, I mean like circumcised.
Oh, I don't think about that.
I do. That's not a normal thing in like any other country besides the U.S.
Yeah, it's also like a cultural thing for some people, like to do it or not to do it.
Yeah, but literally, like U.S. is pretty much the only country that
there's like
it's normalized to circumcise their baby.
Right, and there's this whole like movement to like not circumcise your baby. So there's like you know, keep the sweater on.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow. I mean, yeah, it's the new norm.
It's the new norm. I feel like, you know, whatever.
Right? Just like
unless you're Jewish, because Jewish like people, so they make a whole ceremony out of it, which is kind of cool.
They do. Remember on like the movie Meet the Fockers, and they brought out like Greg's baby book, and they're like, "Look, I kept the foreskin," and they're like, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And then somehow it ends up flying into the fondue.
Ew. Yeah.
That's what I think of whenever I think of circumcision and Jews.
That is so
scene.
funny. Is that scene? Oh my god, cool. So yeah, but anyways, we will dive right into the stories because I feel like we have a lot to unpack.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So
Let's
Grammys
unload.
were on Sunday night, and it was kind of like a whole night. Did you enjoy the Grammys?
Yeah, I thought they were good. I thought they were a little bit better than last year, I'd say.
I would agree. I think that the Grammys this year were phenomenal. I thought that like I was really entertained by the performers, by the people who they brought out to present awards.
This host was actually good.
The host, Trevor Noah, did phenomenal. I think that like this is his third or fourth year doing it. And I thought he did such a wonderful job as a host.
Right.
Even doing the improv of like the stars walking in like last minute. You know?
Meryl Streep, wild.
Right, Meryl Streep, Taylor,
yeah.
Beyonce was coming. Yeah, so I thought he did such an excellent job.
Yeah. And he didn't like really like make people uncomfortable like the last award show that we were talking about. How that host really did not do a great job.
No, I think Trevor Noah is a perfect example of like this is how you get a job and this is how you go to work and do your job. Like
exactly.
Like he didn't go off
and this
script,
is why
and if
he's
he did,
getting brought back for more shows.
Right.
You know?
And like this is a comedian who knows the opportunity that he has presented in front of him and that he wants to do a good job at. You know, he's not gonna like go off script and be like, I wrote these whatever jokes 3 days ago. Like, okay, just stick to the script. Nobody has to laugh, you know?
Right.
It's like, do your fucking job. You're on TV.
Simple as that, people.
It really is. I don't know.
So where should we start with this?
So let's do Grammys. Did you see the red carpet?
No, I mean I saw it on and off through. I just said through the TikTok and everything.
Who stood out to you
for their outfits?
Yeah, like or the whole thing, whole thing.
Oh, Miley Cyrus. She was freaking Cleopatra.
Okay, so
beautiful.
I thought,
also she had the most costume changes the entire night.
Right, I think that she
Wild.
had the most beautiful gown. The gold pins. Were so cool, and they like just fit her body so well. She looked so toned. Like homegirl,
even when she was performing
out.
I was like, look at that like leg. Like you could see all the beautiful muscles
her
popping out.
Arms
My girl,
were like insane. I was like, okay, homegirl's been eating. Homegirl has been working out. Like
right, and I'm like, obviously Endless Summer Vacation has a pause for the gym. Okay.
Right, exactly. Like hot girl summer, absolutely. I thought Miley Cyrus looked phenomenal. The hair was a little questionable for me.
Yeah, but I think she was just having her, like how she mentioned, like Whitney Houston, like all like those huge icons. I think she was literally becoming an icon herself and wanted to fill in those shoes.
You're right.
With the hair being as that way, you know?
Right. And I think that like the hair, like one thing about Miley is she don't give a fuck.
Right. And she honestly just keeps you guessing.
Right. So like when
Always.
she like pulls out, my favorite thing of her that came from the award show was she's like walking on the red carpet and she's like, oh, iPhones? Like she like went to like on the red carpet, she walks on and everyone's sitting there with their cameras and she goes, iPhones? No cameras? Like it was so funny. She's like,
I love her.
Where's the glamour?
Right. I liked right before she was about to perform, she was like talking on camera or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she was just literally saying like, I could care less about being here or like performing for what I look like to you guys. I can't wait to watch it back tomorrow and see what I look like.
Literally,
like,
I thought it was phenomenal.
The confidence is everything.
I will say that Christina Aguilera, when she presented that award, she looked fucking so good in that blue dress. She like came out with her award. She looked so good. That's when
I think I might have skipped that part. Sorry.
She looked phenomenal. Olivia Rodrigo was in vintage Versace. I want to say Versace dress from 1995. Which they call vintage now. So Faith, we're close to vintage. Which is just so beautiful. Yeah, so basically she wore that. I thought she looked cute. It wasn't like drop dead. I wasn't like starstruck.
Same with Taylor's outfit. It was all right.
So Taylor's outfit.
Yeah.
I just like don't want to get into it. Like her gown was pretty. The gloves were a mess. Her hair was a mess. I liked the choker, too much jewelry. I just think that her stylist doesn't quite understand the vibe. I don't know.
It's the freaking Grammys. It's not People's Choice Awards. Okay, it's the Grammys.
It was a little off for me.
Right.
And I love her. But
yeah. Can we talk about how uncomfortable Lana Del Rey was when Taylor pulled her up there?
We'll get into it.
Oh, we're not there yet? Okay.
No, we're not there yet, but we'll get into it. So, but basically, the awards were great. Miley won her first Grammy for Flowers. She won 2 Grammys for Flowers. Jay-Z won the Dr. Dre award.
Oh, Dr. Dre, yeah.
Yeah, award. And that was pretty cool. He got up there with Blue Ivy, his daughter, and the speech was interesting. But
he's like, she don't need no sippy cup no more. I'm like, what? That was quite a while, right?
What about a sippy cup? But he also like made he was speaking facts. It was giving like Kanye West, but like in a respectful way. Being like, hey Academy, thanks for the award. But like honestly, like, you know, because he was like, the Academy doesn't make sense because the woman with the most Grammy wins still has not won Album of the Year.
Oh, because Beyonce made that record last year.
Yeah, and Beyonce still has never won Record of the Year. And she sat there and she looked so fucking uncomfortable. She looked so uncomfortable. Yeah. So that was awkward. Kelsey Ballerini, who I was rooting for country album, did not win. Yeah. I was very upset.
But everyone in the country, like everyone that I know who loves today's country, because I don't really listen to it at all.
Yeah.
Loves Lainey Lewis.
I know. Everybody loves her.
They're obsessed with her. And I'm like,
obsessed.
Damn. I just found out about her like 3 months ago.
I know. People should be obsessed with Kelsey, and that's just how I feel.
Right. I'm obsessed with Chase, her boyfriend.
God, what? Luke Combs with Chasey Chapman.
Yeah, that was a pretty good performance.
That was so good. Literally pulled her out of retirement. She hasn't performed since 2009.
That's That was
literally
when New
pulled
Moon
her
came
out
out.
of performance. I know. So think about it that way.
That's what I think of when I think of 2009. I think of New Moon. Just like
2008,
Twilight.
literally. 2004, Mean Girls.
That's exactly.
Like, that's just like random in my brain.
Could I tell you any other years? Not really. Those are the movies that really honestly mattered in that era.
In that era, for 1000%. 2009.
Yeah.
Also, 17 again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember his iPhone.
That's a good one.
That is a great one.
Yeah, but basically, Taylor made some announcements. Miss Taylor Swift, she won for Best Vocal Pop Song of the Year, and that was her 13th Grammy win. So she got up there to accept the award, and she said that so basically the whole lore of this was a day before the Grammys, or no, the day of the Grammys, she changed her profile picture from color to black and white. And black and white cover is like Reputation. Reputation is the next re-record that she's been hinting at for the past few months. So everybody was like, oh my God, Reputation, Taylor's version, is going to be announced tonight for her 13th win. And then when she came on and she had the white gown, black gloves, black and white, all her jewelry, black and white. She had the choker on, which would resemble Reputation. The hair, sorry. The hair was also like Reputation, but she got up on stage and she says, I'm so excited to announce my brand new album, The Tortured Poets Department will be out April 19th. And I was like, another album?
When she said that, it cut to like Miley Cyrus's face and she's just like this.
Literally, it cut to Miley. It cut to Olivia, and Olivia's like,
and they're just like, we literally just got done filming and like or recording Flowers and Vampire and all this shit, and she's already like, what? Another one. Where's DJ Khaled? Another one.
As a huge Swiftie and as a huge Taylor fan, I'm excited to hear about this album because it's a breakup album. It's about Joe Alwyn. I really want to know like what happened, and and I'm really excited about the features that are on the album. Post Malone's on a song. Florence and the Machine is on a song. I'm really excited for the album itself. I just think that like it's becoming too much. And that's coming from me, like someone who loves and adores this woman and will support her at all costs. Like this woman,
while she's still touring and doing all these era songs, like
she's on tour. She's doing this in the middle of tour. It's kind of chaotic in a way to like add another album and enter another era when it feels like we're still in the Midnight's era. Like Midnight's did come out 2 years ago, but like almost 3 in October, it'll be 3, but it still feels so fresh and new just because of the tour and everything. So I thought it felt like a little too soon for a new album. But that's just like my opinion. And
but like also the way she announced it, I'm sorry.
Go on.
No, if you want to finish your thought, go ahead and I'll add on to it.
No, go on.
Okay. It's just the way that she wanted to add it or announce it at the Grammys while all these people are already, clapping, congratulating her on all this. But it's kind of like someone getting engaged at someone else's wedding. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, I don't know. I didn't think it, like how you said, it was kind of poor timing with
and
her announcing it. I don't know.
If it would have been Reputation Taylor's version, I would have had more understanding because it's like, okay, this is an album that like I've already put out. It's reworked, obviously. And I would have adored it because Reputation was a snub. Like the Academy Award snubbed her album. Like it got 0 nominations that year. So like it would have been like really like poetic in a way.
Yeah.
Where like she like I didn't get nominated for a Grammy, but I'm gonna win this Grammy. I'm gonna announce the song, like the album that didn't get a Grammy. So in that sense, I would thought it would have been a little better, but like it just felt a little weird. I'm excited. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
I just think that she would. This is what I was anticipating for Taylor's future before she announced this album. I anticipated her finishing up the tour at the end of December of this year, and then like we won't see her for a bit, you know, like because it's just been so much Taylor. But no, this will continue until 2025 because we got Fearless Red, Taylor's version. Next year we got the brand new album. And then that was 2021. And then 2021. Yeah. No? Yeah.
You know this better than I do.
2021 was Fearless Red. And then 2022 was Midnights. 2023 was Speak Now, 1989. 2024, new album. 2025, Reputation, Taylor's version. And then after 2025, we'll probably get a brand new album. So like, it's just gonna like continue. Like she is just like, I just hope it doesn't backfire.
Hiatus. Yeah. Yeah,
that's how I feel. But she also won, like you said, Album of the Year, which was phenomenal. We had a surprise of Celine Dion. You know. Walking out on stage was
and she
beautiful.
Doesn't do public events anymore because of her condition,
right?
So that's already a huge thing of her presenting on stage in front of a live audience and on live television. And it's an honor.
It's an honor. Yeah.
It's
so
a
basically,
goddamn honor.
Celine Dion came out on stage and she walked, which was phenomenal. Because a few months ago, I don't know if we reported on it or not, but she like was losing majority of her ability to control her own muscles because she does have stiff person syndrome, which she eventually will unfortunately pass from. But apparently she's been on a new treatment and she's been doing well, and her body's reacting well to the treatment. So that's why she came and felt well enough to come out and present the award. So she comes out, presents the award. She looks gorgeous. And I had like tears in my eyes. I was like, oh my God, Celine Dion, I love you. Like, I'm so happy you look healthy. And, when Taylor won the award, it was phenomenal. But Taylor drags Lana Del Rey, who was also
one of the nominees
for the same category, just lost. Taylor grabs Lana's hand, and Lana obviously did not want to get on stage. And Taylor,
she even tried holding someone's chair, and Taylor must go to the gym with Kelsey because fuck, she still pulled that bitch up there.
Right.
I can't imagine how tight her hand was on her wrist.
I just think in the moment, Taylor was like, because Lana produced on Midnights. She was a producer on Midnights. She also did a song with Lana, Lana did a song with Taylor on Midnights. So I felt like Taylor was like, this is our album. Like, this is just mine. So I understand like that point because like she did produce like 3 songs, I believe, on the album with Jack. And so she had like her whole team up there with her. And when she went up there, 2 other people were coming from, I would say, stage left and stage right, because that's the left. So it'd be stage right. They were coming up and Taylor saw them as she grabbed the award. So it looked like she like just slided by Celine Dion and didn't say anything. And so Taylor grabbed the award. She gave her speech saying, thank you so much. I want to do this for the rest of my life. Thank you so much for letting me like make music this long and blah, blah, blah. And she leaves, and that's the end of the night. Well, how did you interpret it?
So She wins the award. She pulls a very uncomfortable Lana Del Rey up the stairs, more like drags. And then Lana Del Rey goes and hides in the corner by one of her other friends. And the whole time, Celine Dion, you can see her holding the Grammy as Taylor's like hugging, you know, just bouncing up and down, shouting, oh my God, yes, 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 to all these people. And the camera cuts back to Celine just awkwardly holding this Grammy. Like, you gonna fucking take it? This bitch has a disease. She can't hold it forever, okay? Fuck. Then she goes and grabs it, doesn't even look at her. She's still looking back at her friends in the back of the stage. And Celine's just like, like this freaking queen of an icon hands you this goddamn humongous gold horn of a fucking award, and you don't see nothing. You don't even smile at her like, oh, thank you, right? No.
So that's how Blaine interpreted it, and Blaine was very upset. Blaine was like, wow, she just like snubbed fucking Celine Dion. I was like, I don't think so. Like, I was like, I didn't really read it that way.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, like, seriously, like, she literally just snubbed her. And I was like, oh.
But I don't think it was intentional. Again, this was a record-breaking moment for her.
No, right.
And there were all these emotions happening.
Right.
I understand that. But it's just common courtesy to at least make eye contact with the person who's handing you an award. That's my only thing. But I do understand how, like, so much adrenaline was probably pumping through her at this moment.
Right. And that's what I was like, I do agree with you on, like, at least thank Celine Dion for presenting the award to you.
Right.
Like, I do believe that, like, she slipped up there. But on the other hand, I can see where, like, you just made history. You just made history as a woman. You just made history at the age that you're at in music, when women turn 30 in music and they're considered dead. And she just broke a record. You're so excited. You want everybody included that was produced, so it doesn't feel like it's just like, haha, it's all about me.
Right.
And so I can just see her being caught up in the moment, because that's how I would be. I would be so caught up all into it, where it would be like, I'd be so flabbergasted. And I think that we need to understand that Taylor is still a human being, no matter the stardom, no matter the platform that she has, no matter how professional she is. She is still a human being, and she still can get overwhelmed, and she can still get overstimulated. And that's, I really, truly think that's what happened.
Yeah. I don't think there was any kind of like
animosity.
Anything like that. I think, she was just caught up in the moment, and I'm sure she looked back on it like, but at the beginning, like when they announced Celine Dion, she was singing along to her, like the song that was playing, that was Celine's voice. So it's not like she doesn't like Celine.
She was the first one to stand up. She literally was the first one to stand up.
Exactly. Did you see so much hate about her being just standing up in the Grammys? I'm like, bitch, shut up.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like, she's always trying to make a scene for herself. And I'm like,
what warmed my heart was when Olivia Rodrigo was performing Vampire. She was standing up, applauding, and singing along to Olivia's thing, when I'm like, there's beef there. But like, this squashed it for me. It made my heart so happy to see them support one another. And then like at the end of it, Olivia was done performing. She blew Taylor a kiss and like waved. And that like warmed my heart. I was like, thank God. Because
that was the confirmation we all needed.
That's what I needed. That's all I needed. Yeah. And but anyways, back to Celine and Taylor. They took a photo. Here, I'll put it up on the screen.
Well, that's good.
But they take a photo right after they walked off stage. So Celine
after she got all
Taylor
this hate. Yeah.
Right. No, this is like literally seconds after they walked off.
No, I'm saying like right after she got all this hate. Like
right. Oh yeah.
Because people didn't see this. Yeah.
See that. Yeah. Okay. So she like comes off stage, they hug and embrace, and you know, the internet, the gays were not happy. The gays were fucking fuming on Twitter. They were so mad. They were so upset about it. But come to find out, a lot of the nominees for that category, for any category, they know who the presenters are. So Taylor was aware Celine Dion was coming out. Like a lot of people in the category knew Celine Dion was coming out. And at these award shows, you know, you have your publicist and stuff working for you and stuff. And it come to find out that there was actually like a message being like, listen, like Celine Dion's here. She's obviously not well. You like, just don't hug her. Just don't like jump on her. Just don't, you know, whatever. Just because like she is a person who has an illness. So just be cautious. And I think that like played a part in it where like, cause you like, I can't see in a world where like Taylor just like intentionally would not hug Celine Dion.
I can see that.
Yeah, so that's like what I've been reading on Twitter was like because someone backstage said that, but who knows? But yeah, that was basically the drums for
right. I did want to make it one thing about the at the Grammys though. Like it was right before that award was getting presented. Billy Joel, he came out with his very first brand new song that he performed, and it was like the first time he has, you know, created a song in over 30 years.
Yeah.
And when I tell you, I was crying so bad when I watched it.
I'm sure.
I cried last night. I cried this morning. It was unreal.
Well, explain the significance of Billy Joel to you.
So, I haven't really talked about this on the podcast before.
No.
But for viewers or listeners, if you guys didn't know, my mother passed away when I was like 14. But a thing that my mom and I really bonded over was Billy Joel. And whenever I think or listen to a Billy Joel song, it always makes me think of my mom in like literally the best way possible.
Right.
And so I was incredibly excited for him to be performing at the Grammys because I've never gotten like, you know, the pleasure of watching him perform live in person or anything like that. So I was really excited to see it. And then to hear that he is performing a brand new song. And it was just so incredibly beautiful and inspiring. And I was just crying because it was just so good. And I just kept on thinking of my mom because I would just want to share that kind of a moment with her.
Billy Joel, man.
I know.
That's awesome.
I love him.
And he closed the show.
He did. But then it kind of made me upset because he deserves more than just closing a show because everyone's up either talking or, you know, just leaving, trying to get to their car. And he's just out there just singing. But I'm still happy that they had him perform.
I'm happy that he was there and I'm happy that he had his moment. And I'm excited to listen to this new song.
Yeah, I love Billy.
Okay, moving on to story number 2. Sorry, you guys, that was story number 1. I didn't read the article.
But the Grammys are always huge.
Yeah, like we didn't really need an article to recap, you know. So, story number 2, some drums.
Here we go.
Okay, here we go. This is decades old drums.
Yes.
Holly Marie Combs defends Shannon Doherty after Alyssa Milano denied she was behind Charmed firing. Quote, it was all about power. Holly Marie Combs is speaking out after Alyssa Milano denied she got former Charmed co-star Shannon Doherty fired from the series. In a new Instagram video made by screenshots of Combs' statement, the actress said she was disappointed in her former co-star Alyssa Milano. Quote, I feel the need to defend myself after many continuing attacks that have ensued since Alyssa stepped out on stage and essentially called Shannon and I liars when she was simply asked what it was like to work with Rose McGowan. In her statement on Monday, Combs reaffirmed that the recollection is not revisionist history, which Milano previously referred to their versions as. She quotes, this is just the history Alyssa didn't want people to know about and the history Shannon wasn't ready to talk about until 1 month ago. No one should have to lie about their own life with the comfort of another, for the comfort of another. She continues, I long wanted the girls to just get along for the sake of something bigger than all of them combined, adding, it was not just in the cards, clearly. She said that she has talked to each one of the girls to lay off each other. She says that you can ask Alyssa and Rose both, that she's had multiple screaming matches between them. The actress explained how ironic it was that Milano claimed that she did not have the power to fire anyone when it was actually all about power. She said, "Let me explain. She had the power to stop the process at any time. She had the power to not to talk to a mediator or a therapist brought to protect profits. And when producer said it was okay to let Shannan go, Alyssa also had the power to say, no, I don't want that. But she did not." So basically, over the weekend, it was MegaCon. And it was in Florida. And Faith and I screenshotted, and I sent her this like weeks ago, that Alyssa Milano was on Friday. Yep. Shannan, Holly, and Rose was on Saturday and Sunday.
Yep. No one wanted to share the panel with Alyssa.
Right. Like nobody wanted to be around Alyssa Milano. And I picked this article and story because Charmed is like a near dear show to my heart. Faith also likes the show and knows what I'm talking about. And Alyssa on Friday was asked why she wasn't, well, she was asked what it was like to work with Rose McGowan, and she turned the question into, why is Rose, Holly, and Shannan not here? And she basically, it was a very PR calculated response. I thought it was very well. I thought it was good. I thought she answered it well as someone who would work as PR. Like she did phenomenal. Yeah. She basically said, it's sad. I took responsibility in the past. They didn't accept it, blah, blah, blah. Well, she posted that statement and clip on her Instagram, and the comments went wild. Mark Ruffalo got involved. That is wild to me. Right? And that is wild to me. And basically all the claims that she was making, Shannan and Holly got involved in the comments as well. And they were not happy. So the next day, it was Rose, Shannan, and Holly on the panel. And obviously it was going to be brought up. And Shannan wanted to close it down right away. So Shannan wrote a piece basically being like, listen, I know my truth and I know what happened. And just because I'm now 55 and I want to speak my truth now, does it invalidate that these things didn't happen for me? She goes, someone who has brain cancer and someone who is suffering every day and has bigger demons to fight, it's now more important for me to tell the truth. So it was very wild and it was very dramatic. And I just want to know your take on it.
I can understand why everyone is beefing and why they're all upset, especially with Alyssa like posting that. And I feel like that was kind of like poor of her to do that right before they were going to have their 2-day
literally
conference or whatever. What's that thing?
Panel.
Meet and greet thing. Yeah. But also I kind of agree with Alyssa. Like, let's just let bygones be bygones, like,
right.
We're all in our 50s. Let's move on.
Let's just move on. So some context, you guys. Here's some context. Charmed was a show in the 90s. It was a hit show. It lasted for 8 seasons. It starred Shannon Doherty, Holly Marie Combs, and Alyssa Milano. For the first 3 seasons, it was them. Something happened. They killed Shannon Doherty off the show, and then they brought in Rose McGowan, who was on the show from season 4 to season 8. So 5 seasons. And it was a very successful show. And when Shannan left the show, there was rumors that her and Alyssa did not get along.
Like we're button heads. And
it was ultimately came down to letting Shannan go. And it was that narrative for a very, very long time. And after the show ended and, the show still had such a cult following, they would do panels together. And it really was Alyssa and Holly, or Rose and Holly, doing the panels. Shannan wasn't there included. And then Shannan started doing panels again. And she started being like more open with what actually happened. And when her podcast episode came out and like basically gave more light to the situation of being like, listen, Alyssa Milano was talking to this mediator for 2 years to build a case against the studio to basically be like, listen, Shannan needs to leave, or like, I'm gonna sue you. And that's all documented, and that's crazy. And then like with Rose McGowan, we watched that interview together. Remember when Rose was on that interview, and she goes, I don't like her.
Rose, ever since that like car accident of hers, she's just been like one too many cuckoo's nest. You know?
So Faith thinks she's a little cuckoo. I think she's fine. I don't know.
But I mean, even before the car crash, she was like really heavy into dating Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, so, I think she was always like kind of crazy.
Yeah. So maybe this has just been new. It's just been more public.
Yeah. So when all the girls, here's my stance on the whole thing. When you have three people who have very similar experiences with one person, and the one person is calling them liars, but these three people have very consistent stories, and they're like, we are not liars, you're the liar. One has to like believe that there is some truth to what the three are saying.
Right.
So now let's talk about
decades ago.
Literally 30 years ago. This happened 30 plus years ago. It's like such old drama, but it's like making headlines again.
Right. Mark Ruffalo is like, listen, I know Alyssa. Okay, she a good woman.
Mark Ruffalo, Oscar nominee, Oscar winner.
Right? Did you know he's from Wisconsin?
What part?
I think near like Green Bay or something. I really can't remember. Well, I know Appleton was William Dafoe.
Yes.
But I don't think he was Appleton.
Oh.
I'll have to re-Google it, but he's definitely from Wisconsin.
Yeah. No, so it was just very funny, and it was just, I don't know. Like, I understand this is like real trauma, and this is like real drama or whatever. Right. But like, let's be real here. Like, y'all are in your 50s, like one is ill. Let's just kind of like, let's get in one room, squash the fucking beef, and like, you know,
right? That's like throwing us and talking to Amy from Quick Trip.
Literally, right? But also like, I do understand. Did you just imagine it?
Little Teresa walks in too.
Fuck. Fuck. Like no, but for real,
that's
like
hilarious.
Imagine like being 50 and having to justify your actions as a 20-year-old.
Right. Exactly.
Like, that's wild.
Uh-huh. No one, we're all human people.
I'm like reading all this. I'm like, so no reboot soon? Like, no. Oh, we're off the table. Okay. But also, I like imagine, because it was in talks to like let Alyssa or Shannan go. What if Alyssa was let go and then Rose had to go in?
She wouldn't make a good Phoebe.
Well, the
show definitely wouldn't have lasted 8 seasons.
So that's what I think. I don't think it would have lasted long, because Paige's powers, like Phoebe's powers in Paige.
Well, that, and like Phoebe is like, you know, the fashion go-getter and like the flirt and
right. I just think that,
but I guess Paige was like that in Scream, so maybe that couldn't have been so bad. But
right, I think it would just have been a completely different show.
Yeah.
Wild. Okay, moving on. All right. Third story. Country singer Toby Keith, dead at age 62. Country music legend Toby Keith has died at 62 after a battle with stomach cancer. The singer died Monday night, according to the official statement shared on his social media. Quote, Toby Keith passed away peacefully last night on February 5th, surrounded by his family. He fought his fight with grace and courage. Please respect the privacy of his family at this time. Just 2 weeks ago, the singer opened up about his cancer battle, revealing that he was diagnosed in 2021. He went to go state that he did surgery, radiation, chemo, in like behind closed doors until he felt comfortable enough to come forward with it. He said that his wife was the best nurse. Yes, and this past June, Keith also said that he spent more than 6 months undergoing chemotherapy and radiation and surgeries, which is very sad. He came open about his cancer in 2022. Mm-hmm. And yes, so he unfortunately passed away, and it's very, very sad.
It's just back in I think it was either October or November, he performed one of his very last performances.
Mm-hmm.
And he wrote this song for Clint Eastwood, of all people, I know. It's called "Don't Let the Old Man In," and it's quite beautiful, actually. And he performed it, and you could see how different he's looked, because he's lost so much weight and all that from all of his treatments, but he still sounded amazing, just like how he always has. And that's how we spent our Christmas, my family's Christmas. We just watched this YouTube video of Toby Keith singing that song, and we watched it 2 or 3 times because we were all just so moved by it. And I'm like, this just shows how much we love this man.
Right.
But you remember when we went to Vegas and I told you
we went to his bar, right?
Yeah, I was like, I don't care whatever we do, but can we please go to this bar? Because it's Toby Keith's bar.
Yeah.
And you and Blaine are like, but of course.
Yes.
So do you remember me going around taking pictures of every angle of that place?
Yes. Yeah.
I was in awe. I was like, oh my God. And we went to his gift shop and they said we just missed him. Remember that?
Yes.
I was so
because he was there in town.
I know. I was like, I could have met this man. But so a little trinket that I keep is years ago, my mom went to Vegas with her girlfriends, and she knows how much I love Toby Keith. So she went to the bar and grabbed a napkin and gave it to me as a souvenir. So I always keep that one in my wallet, the exact napkin from his bar. So then when we went to his bar in Vegas, when we went, so many years later, I grabbed another napkin and now I have both of them in my wallet side by side.
Cute.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, I love that.
My sentimental heart. But now I have one of those kind of keepsakes that kind of, now will remind me of him and my mom together. So.
Right, absolutely.
You know what was sad though? As I was crying this morning, I was like, Mom, can you tell if I said hi?
Oh my God, cute.
I said that out loud.
You're manifesting.
I know. I'm like, hey, Mom, send in a good word for me, okay?
You're like, girl, you know what to do.
But you know what to do. You know the drill, Ma.
You know the drill. Yeah. Rip Toby.
Yeah. But anyway, he's amongst the greats now, so.
I know. It's so sad. Cancer fucking sucks, dude.
I know. Do you know who else this is another news. This is news. You know who just got diagnosed with cancer? I think it's through the prostate.
Yes.
King Charles. Charles. And I'm like, oh, what's that? Huh? Karma? Cue Karma by Taylor Swift. Okay.
It's just...
That's what Diana's listening to upstairs. Okay.
The pop culture of it all is so funny because you know that when Queen Elizabeth was hospitalized... Right. It was rumored that Trisha Paytas was in labor. So everyone was like, it's transfer of the souls. They're like, Trisha Paytas is giving birth to Queen Elizabeth. And no, I'm not joking.
Oh my God.
The royals contacted Trisha Paytas because they were pissed that this was happening. Oh, and she was like I had nothing to do with it.
Listen.
So when King Charles got diagnosed with cancer, Trisha Paytas is pregnant right now. She's halfway done through her pregnancy. No, I'm not joking. And she literally tweeted, she goes, I have no fucking comment. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Oh my God, because her first baby is Barbie, right? That's why she didn't name
Malibu,
her
yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that's so funny. It's just so funny.
I have no fucking comment.
Oh
my God. God. So you're saying,
but they said
deadline. Okay.
Right. Literally, like, I'm like, this is fucking hilarious. But they said it was a very small surgery. I mean, very small cancer that should be treatable. So it's not, anything crazy.
You get what you get, buddy. We'll see.
Right. We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see.
Well, that is our episode, you guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching to this week's episode. Find us anywhere you get your podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcast, anywhere you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube for you visual listeners, youtube.com/@the-chat-club-podcast. Follow us on Instagram and on TikTok @the-chat-club. Follow Faith @it's Faith Jerome or just Faith Jerome. Follow me, Brandon Nels T. Yes, thank you so much for listening and watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Today was like a good episode.
Yeah,
it
was. I was just going to say, and always remember not to send your nudie videos on your Instagram story.
Yeah, you guys, be careful what you put on the internet. It will literally haunt you.
Come on, don't be smacking the beef out.
Come on, Drake. You know better.
Shame.
Okay. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.